Welcome to the Prepperverse, where we will explore the art, science, and philosophy of preparedness. I'm Doc JMO. Tonight we're going to get into a really exciting topic here. On my last video we discussed the 7 essential items that you must have in your bug out bag. And what I'm going to do is, in subsequent videos, is to cover each of those 7 items in more detail to give you a little bit more of an explanation, because on the last video I kind of breezed through it. So tonight's topic, what I'm going to discuss, is water. We all know how important water is and how vital it is, but I'm going to give you a couple things to think about as we discuss that. But before we do jump into that discussion, real quick, I wanted to talk about bug out bags, the bag itself. If you don't have one, definitely get one. You're gonna need something to put your items in. If you have to, for whatever circumstance, grab something in a hurry and go. You're gonna want that 72-hour kit, your bug out bag, whatever you want to call it. We affectionately call it a bob. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that there's different sizes out there, and depending on your size and the capacity that you're able to carry, there are many options. You don't have to get the latest and greatest, the lightest. There's many good bags, top label bags that make some entry level and mid-range bags that will last a lifetime. They're very good. They've got excellent warranties on them. So there are those, though you don't necessarily have to go that route. You can go look around in your garage if you have one. Maybe you could find something else that you've had laying around and haven't really used that much. And then there's also Goodwill. There's also Facebook Marketplaces, I heard, is a really good place to get a bag. And once you do get your bag, you're going to want to feel it. You're going to want to test it. But you want a bag that's not overly too heavy, because there are bags out there that are heavier material than they're on this big heavy frame, and you really won't be able to load many things in there and carry it before the weight starts really climbing up and to where you're tested. Now, if you're in the military, you're young, you're strong, you're strapping, you could carry that 90-pound pack, through the woods, up and down hills, then that's fine, if that's what you're used to. But the majority of the people, I think, especially the ones that were, the audience that we're targeting, is not that. So there are other options to use, because weight is definitely a consideration, important consideration as you're building out your bug out bag. So quickly, there's 3 that I have here right next to me. There are 3 different sizes. I have a 28, a 48, and then a 70-liter bag. Now, it's just the liter size is representative of the capacity of how much you have. Now, I prefer the internal frame bags, because they're a little bit more, actually a lot more comfortable. And that's what I'm used to. I used to have just an old frame, and then a pack mounted to that frame. And those are great, but they're really kind of hard. They sit farther away from your body, so they're always kind of like making you lean back. And I also had the old military Alice packs, which are heavy material, heavy frames, and that's just heavy empty. And you start putting your stuff in there, and the weight just starts to skyrocket. So I like to find something that's mid-range, and but durability is what I'm after. And then there's some packs that will cost sky high. You can see them on the Appalachian Trail when you hike the trail. They're $500-600 bags, but they're not durable. They're only going to last 3 or 4 seasons. So it's not, even though they have some nice suspension. I mean, go with a mid-range internal frame pack. I think you'll be much happier. Then once you get it, study. There is an art to packing the bag, what items to have, or where to put them in your pack to make it balance out. So I think these internal frame packs are a pretty good way to go. The first pack I have here, just to show you the size difference. This is a 28 liter pack. This is just an old 2016 REI Centennial pack for the National Park Service when they had their thing. But this is a 28 liter. It's a top loading bag. It just loads in from the top. The internal frames, they're not big frames, they're just wires now. So you can even bend them to help fit the contour of your body. But this is the size of a 28 liter. It's not gonna, you know, for someone smaller or a child, it's gonna be, you know, work really, really well. My main backpacking bag, since I have been tending to go more towards ultralight backpacking when I do go, is the Osprey 48 liter pack. This as well as a top loading pack, and you can see this, you know, the size. It's a little bit bigger. These are empty for demonstration purposes, but it's about this size. Okay. And then my main pack, this is the pack that I use as my bug out bag. I've used it many, many, many years, and it has never let me down. Love this pack. If anything happened to it, well, it's an Osprey pack. So if anything does happen to it, you send it back in, they'll fix it for you. They have a great warranty. That's why I like Osprey. It's a great brand. They've always been really good to me. But this is the Ether 70. And you can see the size of this pack. It's empty, but just for size wise, I mean, it has, this is a top loading, but it has a neat feature too. You can get in there from the front. It does kind of have a little L type zip so you can access the front. But great pack, great pack. Okay, get to the main topic, water. Excuse me, plane flying overhead. Water. We all know how vital it is. You got to have it. And if you have a pack already, a bug out bag that's loaded, ready to go, hopefully your water containers are filled, because you're going to want that. You don't want to wait until you have to go. Then you go, oh, stop! I can't go. I gotta get some water. But anyway, water containers. You can use anything for water containers. I have seen, you want to be careful too, because some people really have got to have a lot of water, and I understand that. And I have actually seen people with their bug out bags that will have a gallon of water in their bag. And if weight is a consideration, especially when you're going distance, ounces over distance gets heavy. it just gains in weight. It does. So a gallon of water is like 8 pounds, and with everything combined on top of that, your pack could exceed your capacity to carry it for very long. So the tip that I recommend is having containers, having smaller, lighter containers, such as like a smart water bottle is what I was showing on my last video. I love them. They're a good size. They'll hold a decent amount of water for a while. But the thing that you're really going to want to have, and I carry three of them, you're going to run out. But you want to have a way you can get more water. Number one, you look for your water sources and look for different places to find water. And that's a whole nother topic in and of itself. But you want to purify. So you want to have items, you know, when you're making out your list of, you know, when you're covering the 7 essentials you must have in your bug out bag. Water, included in that water is a way to purify water. Now there's different ways you can do that. One way that I really like is using, this is the Sawyer Squeeze. This is a filter, water filter. This one's kind of neat. There's various ways that you can use this. It comes in a kit, and then you've got different tubes and connections and different ways that you can actually purify water with this. But one way I really like, and you'll see it on the Appalachian Trail quite a bit, is people that take this and they'll just screw it on. They'll have, of course, this will be dirty. You know, if you have a dirty one, mark it, say dirty water on it. all over. You know, do not drink unless you have the filter on it, because you can use this as a to collect water out of the stream or puddle, what have you. Then you just throw this Sawyer Squeeze on there, and then you can just, you know, pop the cap off and, you know, drink it that way. And there's many other ways that you can use this as really a really good option for you. If you're going for weight, and remember, the bug out bag is to get you from point A to point B. It's not anything to live in, unless you're recreational backpacking, which me and my son did. Spent 6 days out in Colorado in the wilderness. We walked 3 days in, 3 days out. So, and our packs weighed 40 pounds a piece. Of course, they would weigh heavier going in than it did coming out, because we're eating all the food. But the purpose of the bug out bag is not to, you know, you don't want all your luxury items in there. You want to cut down just the basic essentials, and you want to be trained in that so you can be effective in using those. But the Sawyer also has a Sawyer Mini. Kind of operates the same way. So look into that. That is an option. It's a very good option that you can use, and it's lightweight. And you can get many, many gallons of water out of it. The other thing that I have, the other filter, okay, I have is a Iodine Vario. It's a manual pump. It works fantastic. I've had it for years. It does get heavy. Any of these, once you get the filters inside of them wet, they will hold water some. And it adds to the weight. And you want to be careful if you're using filters in your pack during the winter time. If you have to bug out and you pull over to sleep at night or whatever, and you have to use it in your sleeping bag, keep your water filters in your sleeping bag so they don't freeze, because if these bad boys freeze, they're going to crack, and then you can't use them. Then your method of purifying water is, you know, it's gone. All right, so keep that in mind as the season that you're going to want to use it in. Another thing is iodine purification pills. They got many different forms of iodine. They have a liquid. They have, I think, a bottle with crystals, iodine crystals in there. You just keep adding water, and you know, mix it up. Then you can just add it to your, you know, a little bit, couple drops to your water. They have the iodine pills that you can just drop right in to your container if you wanted to do that. There's also, you know, through military, you know, canteens. And sometimes what I do is I get if I have a small bottle of iodine pills, I'll just kind of like duct tape it to the side here, so it's always with this container. And the other method, and there's other methods too, these are just a few that I'm showing you. And the other one is to boil water. You know, if you can collect it and boil it. You boil it for a rolling boil. I usually go 10-15 minutes. I want everything nice and dead in there. But you know, you just carry a container. This one fits in with my you know, with my canteen. You could boil it in here, you know. And also, you know, you can cook and eat out of your metal container as well. And then there's other options such as this, and I've used this on my last outing, and it works very, very well. And you just boil some water and make sure it gets to a rolling boil for 10-15 minutes, and then you'll be good to go. The flavor of the water, not necessarily the best, but it's going to keep you alive for sure. So anyway, that is about it for the water. And so my next subsequent videos, we're going to be covering the rest of the 7 essentials. And so thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you find this video of value, hit the thumbs up. It definitely helps me out, especially in building up this channel. So anyway, hey, it's really good to see you, and we'll talk to you later.